to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. You are tuned into another installment of Three Devils and the Gooners. Today I'm joined by Jen and Chels. How are you today, girls?
Good.
Grand.
It's not too bad for Monday. At least the weather is nice. That puts us all in a good mood, I think. We'll see who's in the comments with us today. So we've Paul, like always.
Oh.
Glazer's out.
True.
Rory as well, like always. Danielle. John, like always as well. Thanks a million for joining in the comments, lads. So we'll start off first and we will talk about the weekend's performances. We'll come to you first. Jen, with your draw with Newcastle at the weekend.
No, we lost to Everton. Last weekend or next weekend?
The weekend just gone, no?
Yeah, we lost to Everton.
Oh yeah, that was right.
It's okay, so you're predicting we're going to draw to Newcastle next weekend. Oh my God.
Lads, I'm only home from working hours, so I am not prepared at all, so bear with me.
You're okay. At least I knew who we played. Thank God. If I tell you it right, I have never, ever been so down about a football match. Now, it wasn't necessarily the result, even though the result did not help. It was more the way we played. Everton and us played nearly exactly the same system. So we were cancelling each other out in the midfield. And so we weren't getting any final ball up to our striker. Poor Nketiah was not getting any bit of assistance. Not a ball could he get. It was really, really frustrating. It was such a frustrating match. I actually, at the end of the match, turned around to my son and said, that's it. If we don't win Europa League or get new owners, I'm not watching next year. I just need a break because it's doing my head in that much. VAR isn't helping. VAR is not helping one little bit. In our match against Fulham, VAR gave Fulham a penalty, which, okay, that's fair enough. But we had an offside in that game that wasn't offside because if you looked at the camera angle, it wasn't straight on. So the camera angle in VAR needs to be straight on. The same thing happened against Everton for a penalty. So they gave the penalty, came back to look at the offside. They gave it from halfway up his arm. They didn't give it from his sleeve at all. And then we didn't get the penalty. But I mean, that isn't really why I'm cross. I'm just really cross at VAR and the way it goes. It's absolute crap. I've always kind of been on the fence about it and going, oh, well, maybe we'd get some stuff that we wouldn't have got before. But actually, VAR has gone against us this season completely. But that doesn't deny the way we played. The way we played was absolute crap. And I hope to God I never see my team play like that again. I would prefer to us have gotten absolutely kicked off the park than get that goal scored against us. Oh my God, I could have killed him. When he let the ball go through his legs, I was like, oh no, go away from me. Get away from me. Don't even talk to me. I turned Twitter off. And then I missed an invite to go on another podcast. And I said to my son, well, it's just as well I missed that invite because what I would have had to say tonight would have to be X-rated. So, yeah, not impressed at all against Fulham. Oh, Fulham, says me. Everton. No, not impressed either game. So, that's it. Draw a line under it. And hopefully we'll get better next Thursday.
Where do you think, going by recent performances, right, in the Premier League, not in the Europa League, where do you think you'll finish in the league this season?
Lucky to be 10th. We're joking here in our household because there's two of us Arsenal supporters, but we're fighting Villa for 9th. That's ridiculous. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, definitely getting top 6. because you could see a bit of cohesion and a bit of where Arteta wanted to go. Since the international break, we've had injury after injury, which doesn't help. The team isn't settled, and we just played absolutely disgustingly on Friday night. But the only good thing was I didn't have to watch football for the rest of the weekend, and I did an awful lot of work outside.
Well, it's good the weather was nice for you there, Jen.
Yeah, I was so
Blow
cross.
off a bit of steam.
I was so cross. I didn't watch. I watched the Man United's game and I watched the Carabao Cup on Sunday. I'd calmed down by then. So,
to be honest, I think over the last week or so, I think we've all kind of realised what the English refereeing is like. To be honest, it is dodgy, very, very dodgy. Between VAR and on-field refereeing, I think it's absolute crap. Like, and I think a lot of clubs over the last week have been punished by it. To be honest, we'll move on to United versus Leeds yesterday. What do you make of the game overall, Chelsea?
Oh, just a bit boring, wasn't it? Really, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just disappointed. Like, I feel like because of 6-2 earlier on in the season, I thought, this could be a good game, like an open game. And to be fair, it was quite open, but there just wasn't really any chances. Like, we probably had the most of the chances, and we, had the most opportunity to score, but we just didn't take our chances. We didn't seem to have any creativity in the final third. We didn't seem to have any end product. Like, Dan James had a chance and absolutely just messed it up. Obviously, Rashford had that free kick, which was a good free kick, but again, the keeper saved it. And apart from that, nothing else really happened. Like, I think our decision making was just quite poor. And I don't know if it. I was expecting more as well, because we'd had a week break, and like, we don't tend to get breaks very often because it's in midweek. So I thought, we'll come back a bit more refreshed. I mean, when he started McFred, I did kind of want to see Pogba, but I don't know if it's that, or it's the whole Super League distraction that's like kind of thrown all the players off this week. I don't know, but I don't know. I was expecting a bit more than what we saw. But yeah, wasn't too impressed.
But you know what? Like, I think a lot of the players on the pitch are players that are playing game after game after game, and they're absolutely knackered. Like,
yeah.
Bruno, for example, now, I don't think Bruno has actually been playing bad. He just hasn't been scoring.
Yeah.
His passing has improved, which is what people wanted to begin with, but now they're complaining because he's not scoring. Which is it like? But yeah, I thought the game yesterday was quite boring, to be honest. But you know what? I actually wasn't too upset about it, because at the end of the day, we still have Europa League on Thursday, so we have more important games coming up. And I feel like we're kind of comfortable in second now at the minute. So I feel like if we keep getting points within our last few games, whether it's draws or wins, whatever, I think at least if we're building up the points tally, we kind of get more comfortable, and hopefully second spot will be confirmed then. But I don't know about you, Chelsea, but I'm so sick of the negativity on Twitter at the minute. Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's the second the Super League thing died out, people have their agendas back again about Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like it. I feel like he's the best manager we've had since Ferguson, obviously.
No, I agree. It's driving me mad as well, because like, I don't understand how people can't see this progress. There's clearly progress where, I think this is the best chance we've had to win a trophy with this whole Europa League thing. We're second in the league. I'd say pretty comfortably second to a squad. Like, why? What more could you want? We haven't got a Premier League winning squad. We haven't got like the full amount of quality that we need. Like, why? I don't get why people are complaining. Like, they've always got something to complain about.
Literally always have something to complain about.
Always.
Like, and I feel like when Ollie wins, then they go really quiet. But then the second, like, that draw against Leeds or that loss to Sheffield United, anything like that, straight away they're out of the woodwork and they're complaining again. But like, I just feel like it's more of a case where they expect more from a manager because they want exactly what we had with Fergie. We're not going to get that again. And it's just really disappointing to see that fan base can be so divided and be so against each other. Like I had people yesterday on my Twitter slandering Bruno. Like if it wasn't for Bruno, we wouldn't be where we are.
Definitely not.
If it wasn't for us signing Bruno January last year, we definitely wouldn't have made it to third by the end of the season last year.
No.
So I feel like we need to stop slandering players that have carried us for what 14, 15 months. Like I just it's just ridiculous. Like, and I
feel like people
also yeah, go on, Chen, sorry.
I just say I feel like there's more important things for Challenger Energy at the minute. More important things like the Glazers, about like that. Why just focus on the players when it's a draw to Leeds? If that draw to Leeds means we end up winning against Roma on Thursday, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't have to be so negative all the time.
And people then were complaining that Pogba and Cavani didn't start. But what if one of them got injured? They'd be complaining again Thursday, saying that they should have been rested.
You can't please everyone.
You can't have it both ways.
No.
I'm just sick of the negativity now, to be honest. So I'm taking a break off Twitter for a little bit. I mean, the app is still there, but I'm just not going to be really scrolling through it much anymore because I'm just so fed up of it. To be honest, I understand where people are coming from. Like, they obviously, Manchester United is a club where we have history of winning trophies and we want to get back to that way again. But if you're sacking another manager and bringing another one in, you're starting from square one again, and you're going to be complaining again 6 months later about it not going well. So it's just going to be a vicious cycle. So I don't really see a point in sacking managers. Like, I don't mean to be bad with Chelsea or anything like that, but the last thing we want is a managerial merry-go-round, to be honest with you. I'm just sick of it. I actually want to come to this comment. Will Ollie be sacked if you don't win the Europa? No.
No, definitely not.
I think it's kind of settled now that he is getting a new contract. So I think, to be honest, right, I think if Ollie was to be backed and he was to be able to fill the positions that we do need, I could see massive progress in it, to be honest. Now, I know the football hasn't been great as of late, and I know people stick to that and people want to see good football because they remember good football rather than results. So I know we're getting the results, but on the pitch isn't good. So, and I know that's what people are complaining about, but a lot of our players are playing every single game every week, so a lot of them are really tired at the minute. And in regards to Premier League, I'd be happy if we were just to get points out of the rest of the matches, even if you have to win it ugly. Just get the points that you need. At least second spot is secured, and go all in for Europa League, because I feel like Ollie definitely needs a trophy. Yeah, I agree with this. In my opinion, watch this. We'll win the Europa League, and there will still be something to complain about. People will be saying then that the Europa League isn't a proper trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so annoying.
Can't win everything.
It's so annoying. We'll come on to, so Jen, there has been rumours that Spotify are thinking about buying the club. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm not allowed a phone on in work all day, right? So I got home and because I drive 40 minutes to work, I didn't even put my phone on or the news on. I just needed a break today. And so I got in, put on Sky Sports News, and I was like, what? Now, I knew about Daniel Ek because, I saw the tweet. And so then I started following him, of course, like every Arsenal supporter. But when I came in and it said Henry, Bergkamp and Vieira were going to join him as well, I was like, all right, this might not be as, as hyped up as we think it was. Maybe there's something in this. As an Arsenal supporter, I would love to get our bloody owners out. Oh my God, I was so proud of our Arsenal fans, our Arsenal fan base in London and around London that went to the Emirates on Friday. There was about 10 to 13,000 people there. My nephew was actually there giving out A1 banners, posters, to people. He was just handing them out. He'd done a big pile of them, get them out. I would love an Arsenal supporter to take over Arsenal. I mean, that is your dream, isn't it? And if you've got the money behind you to back it, he will only want to see them do well. But I'm worried I'll wake up in the morning and they'll all go, oh, 1 minute, it's the 1st of April, not nearly the 1st of May, and it was all a big joke, and you're stuck. You're stuck again with your owners that put nothing into your club and just take for their NFL club. It's, we've got exactly the same. Like, it's exactly the same with the two teams. It's just so bloody frustrating. So yeah, for me, and for I'd say nearly every Arsenal supporter out there, Daniel X seems like a god at the moment, a godsend with Henry and my Dennis Bergkamp. Like, he's my favourite all-time player. I loved him, and I still do. I still kind of watch Ajax and stuff because he used to play for them as well. It would just be like the icing on the cake to have former legends from our club actually giving our owner advice on what to do. I mean, oh my God, could you imagine? We're winning the league, we're winning Champions League within 5 years. This is where your head goes. And it's what we needed after Friday. And like, they were taking the piss on Sky Sports, going, oh, I hope he didn't watch Friday's match. Apparently watches every match. So, that's the real supporter. And he'll know that we're crap. And he still wants to buy us. So please, God, touch wood.
I think with the announcement of the Super League, I think we all disliked the owners of our clubs. But this just pushed us right over the edge. It just goes to show how money hungry they actually are, and they don't care about football at all.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to this comment, Chelsea. Have you cared about a result less than United game yesterday? I don't think I have.
No, I don't. After the game finished, I thought, yeah, that was shit. But I wasn't like, we've had draws like the Everton draw, for example, where we were literally angry after it because we just gave it away. I think it was just like a 0-0 draw. Nothing really happened. I finished watching it and thought, right, on to the next. Bored now.
Yeah, I don't think I actually cared. Yeah,
I didn't really.
I just felt like, oh, we're sitting in second now. We're a good few points ahead, and we have Europa League to focus on. So I just felt like, oh, I kind of just shrugged it off and was like, oh, next game, Chelsea, you were obviously at the protest outside Old Trafford the other day. How did you feel about the protest? What was the atmosphere like there? As I know we've seen videos and stuff like that, but you were actually there in person.
It was really good, to be fair. Like, I actually had a really good time. I wasn't expecting there to be that many people there. And like me, Rach and Dan were all quite shocked how many people were there. But there was over 2,000, nearly 3,000 people there, which, considering it wasn't a match day or anything, considering it was just, just a protest that was organised, I think that was pretty good going, to be fair. But yeah, the atmosphere was really good. And to be fair, I know we've been talking about feeling quite divided and stuff recently, but it did feel quite sort of, we were all on the same page, you know what I mean? Like, everyone had the banners and stuff. It was all like, obviously dead creative. There was some quite creative ones that you might have seen on Twitter. To be fair, but yeah, it was really good, and it was just nice to get together with obviously a load of United fans and just kind of try and make our point of it. And I'm quite proud that I was a part of it and managed to be a part of it, because hopefully it's the start of change that we'll want.
Yeah, I won't lie now, to be honest, if I had €2,000 to spare to quarantine when I came home, I would have been over there like that. Yeah. But I was the same, because the way people were talking on Twitter, it was like not many people were going to be there. So when I seen the videos and stuff, lads, I actually got really overwhelmed, and I actually started crying, because I was like, I'm so proud of all these people for going. Like I just love this club. And I'm very passionate about this club since such a small age. And I just want to see the club doing well. And I wanted to have owners that are willing to invest. And the exact same as Jen, I'd love for an owner that comes in that supports Manchester United. Because if an owner comes in that supports your club, they're going to invest so much into the club, and they're going to want the best for the club. So I feel like for a lot of people, we're kind of on the same boat that way. But definitely the Super League pushed those fans over the edge in terms of the owners. I know we all hated the Glazers already, but I think a lot of us are just absolutely despise them now. just completely done with them. Like, and I think you're the same, Jen. When the apologies came out about the Super League, you're like, I don't believe a single word of it. I tell you that the apology came out on Twitter. They tweeted it on the United page, and I read the first paragraph, and I was like, I'm not reading this. I'm not bothered. Our apology means nothing. Like, and like people were saying all over the weekend, you can't regain trust that was never there to begin with. So, you know, like, every club wants owners that are willing to put money into the club, willing to see the club succeed, but these people just take the money out and bring it over to America, and that's not what we want, to be honest. But you know what? This is down to the FA as well, because they do these means tests when foreign people come in to buy these clubs, and they don't follow through with it. I feel like it happened to Burnley as well over the last couple of seasons. Like, no club should be bought on debt, I think, because I feel like that one is a red flag. So I think the FA need to kind of put a stamp down on this as well. We'll move on to the Europa League on Thursday. We probably the two massive games of the season for both our clubs. How are you feeling about the game on Thursday, Jen? Are you nervous? Do you think Arteta's under pressure? What do you think?
This is the first time I've been nervous. Believe it or not. Every other time, as you know, I've been on here and going, we're going to win it. But actually, after our performance on Friday, it's really kind of put a knot in my stomach. I know we always kind of pull it out for Europa League. We always play better. But look, Villarreal, right, I want to say this is our opponents. We're away to them first leg. I much prefer being at home first leg. Because we're crap at the Emirates, basically, and we're better when we're away from it. Even without supporters, we're better when we're away from it, this season especially. So Villarreal lost 2-1 to Barcelona at the weekend, right? It was 1-1, and their goalie did what we do. He, playing out from the back, right? So the goalie passed it out. He got it back again. He went to pass it out to his next defender, and he passed it straight to a Barcelona player. And it was like, oh, yeah, thank you very much. Lost the match 2-1. Oh. So, like, they have a mistake in them as well. So, you're kind of hoping that isn't the only mistake, and maybe they'll be a bit nervous and, we'll get in there. But I do hope we've got majority of our players back. I'm really not sure about our strikers. I'm not keen on Martinelli, and I know the fan base love him. And my son says I haven't seen enough of him to oh my God, sorry. I haven't seen enough to judge him. And I said, to me, he just runs around and around in circles. But yeah, I'm a bit nervous about it. And it's the first time, but I think maybe it's because it's the semi as well. And it's Unai Emery, and he knows us, but we play differently now, so he doesn't know all the players. Like, he wouldn't know Saka or Smith Rowe very well, so, or Odegaard. So I'm hoping there will be a bit of a surprise for him and that we'll win. 2 away goals would be lovely, but, we couldn't score one in our last match, so we'll see.
I have to say though, your European, what is wrong with me? Why can't I speak? European form has actually been quite good, but when you come back to the Premier League, it's like all over the place. But I'm kind of hoping for United Arsenal final. I think that would be so good, but because I think Villarreal are going to be quite tough, to be honest with you. So I think you are going to have a job on your hands. Chelsea, obviously, we have Roma on Thursday. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about it?
I feel like honestly, obviously I feel like we can do it. Obviously, and it all depends on what United turns up, team selection, etc. We can be quite hit and miss sometimes. However, we need to win. We need to get to the final. We can't battle a fifth semi-final in a row. Like, it can't happen. It genuinely can't happen. So obviously, to be fair, I am quite rightly confident. I feel like we just need to go out with it, all guns blazing. Like, we're pretty much settled in the league now. We just need to go out and win the trophy because it's our best opportunity we've had yet. And to be fair, although Roma, I'm not discrediting Roma at all. Roma are a good side, but they're not in the best form at the minute. They're 7th in the league, and then the last 5 games, I think I wrote it down, they've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 2. So that's the last 5 games of competition. So they're not in brilliant form, whereas we've won 4, drawn 1. So on paper, we are in better form, but obviously we just need to turn up on the night. We need to put the strongest team out we can. We're at home, aren't we? First leg. All right. Yeah. Which I doesn't really fill me confidence because we're always better away. But obviously I'd still like to score a couple of goals and just obviously try and keep a clean sheet. Because we can't really let them get many away goals, if any, really. But yeah, I feel it'll be okay. Like I said, we just need to turn up, and actually the players need to be up for it.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people do be nervous for games like a few days before, but like I'd be kind of like, oh look, right, it's another couple of days away. But come Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. But Roma are quite defensive, so I'm a bit worried about us breaking them down. But I think Oli resting Cavani and Pogba on yesterday could actually push us in the right direction as well. So I'm kind of glad that the semi-final is over 2 legs, because we have such bad semi-final syndrome, and that's something that we need to break as well. But I think Roma are going to be tough, and I'm actually kind of glad, or I don't know if I'm glad or disappointed that our first leg is at home.
Yeah,
because I feel like next week, then when we go back and play the away leg, we could perform better, but we can't let Roma what's the word? We can't let Roma get away with it in our home game, because that could mess us up massively, because then they're going to have that away goal advantage, and we can't be guaranteed to score 3 or 4 goals as well, especially against a team that's going to sit back like that. So coming to Keane's comment here, Mike Smalling looking for revenge. Is he back from injury? I don't know if he is. I haven't heard anything, to be honest.
I saw a tweet that he looked like he could be on his way back, but I don't know if it's 100% confirmed. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Sure, look. I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about it, because obviously I haven't watched Roma much this season at all. And I did go see them back in 2019. They were playing Gladbach in the Europa League over in Roma. I was over in Roma at the time, so I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go. Tickets were handy to get anyway. So they were quite defensive in that game as well. So I reckon it would be pretty much the same here. And I've seen highlights as well, and they did look quite defensive. So I reckon it might be tricky, but I don't know. I'm a bit 50-50 on it, because I think our away form is way better than our home form. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Well, it's like when we played Sociedad, and we won. Oh, she's gone.
It's all right, I'll listen to you.
It's like when we It's like when we played Sociedad, and we got the 4-0 first. It was nice because we could sort of not relax, but like we could sort of, go into the second game with less pressure. But obviously, because we're home first, obviously it doesn't work that way this time. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah. A question for Jen: if Arsenal had no Europa next season, would you be disappointed?
We're gonna win it. We won't, because we're gonna be in the Champions League. We're gonna win it. See, I can't
about that,
Jen. Can I? I can't help myself. We won't have Europa League next season, because we're going to win the Europa League this season, and we'll be in the Champions League. And Daniel Ek is going to be our owner, so then we're going to win that too. serious answer to that? You mean if we got knocked out of Europa and we didn't qualify for it? Yes and no. It'll be the first time in so many years that we wouldn't have had European football. That actually I don't know what it's like. It'd be like you. Do you know? I can't even remember how many years ago it was that we didn't have it. Like, oh my God, it must be 24 years, 25 years since we didn't have Europe. Like, so I wouldn't know what it'd be like. So that's my honest answer. I don't know, because maybe I'd enjoy having Thursday nights off. You know, I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer. And all our hopes are on winning it, to be honest. And
well, you need to get over the first hurdle first, because Villarreal is going to be very tough.
Yeah, they are. They are. But as you said, we play better in Europe, and Arteta seems to be more focused on that. I mean, I think he tries different routines and different setups in the Premiership since he knew we weren't getting into, you know, the top six. He's been trying different systems, and we do play much better in the Europa League. And to be honest, Villarreal don't scare me as such, and maybe they should, but Unai Emery doesn't scare me, do you know? And that's, you know, that's a big thing. But if we say we lost the first leg, then I'd be devastated. Next week I'll be on here devastated, you know, and going, we have to do this, 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 and this. But
do you think if you don't get past the semi-final, Arteta could be in trouble?
Yeah, Arteta's in trouble now with fans. I don't know about the board because of everything that's gone on last weekend with the Super League, and now the talk of getting new owners, and would Kroenke sell? We don't know. You know, it depends how much of a cash cow Arsenal actually is for him. So if all of that upheaval is going on in the board, Arteta, I would think, will be okay for another season or half a season. If everything was settled, say last weekend never happened and everything was settled and he didn't win the Europa League, then I think questions might have been asked by the board. But it's like, I mean, who would we get? And people going, oh, Allegri, or this fella, that fella. Like, Nagelsmann has just gone to Bayern Munich. He's just said he's going there next year. Bayern Munich's manager is going to the German team. You know, Tottenham are now scouting around looking for a manager. There's not a lot of them out there that are tried and tested, or they're very old. And do you want a very old manager? I don't know. I mean, coming from an older point of view, I don't think so. Like, you know, I want somebody who's been in the game maybe a bit, but not too long, that he's like Jose Mourinho, that his tactics are just gone, you know, they're past it, you know. But so I would still be Arteta in at the moment. So we'll see. Yeah, Kieran Tierney is still injured, but he's going to be back quicker than we think, apparently. So if we got to a final, I think he would be fit for a final. I'm not so sure about the semis. Definitely not, as far as we know, definitely not this game. But the following Thursday, don't know.
I have a lovely comment here for you, Jen.
Oh, God, what? No. We don't take Tottenham. Sorry. Can I just speak up Man City? I know you're not Man City's like them, but thank you, Man City, for yesterday. Thank you. You made my weekend.
Oh.
I really want the Spurs to win that game. Like,
I did.
So opposite.
They're so bad. Like, I know Jose Mourinho is like an outdated manager now. He plays such defensive football, but it just goes to show that it's actually the players. Now, I know Mason is kind of inexperienced, but I think it's the players, to be honest. They were just playing so bad. Would you take Eddie Howe, Jen?
Eddie Howe, yeah.
or whatever you
I've
call it.
yeah, Eddie Howe, former Bournemouth manager. He was linked with Celtic, and he turned down the Celtic job apparently at the last minute. There was talks went on, so we in our house were discussing it and saying he's definitely been promised a job in the Premiership. So which job is it though? Do you know what I mean? So it's certainly not Tottenham, because he hasn't even been linked to Tottenham. And Eddie Howe had Bournemouth playing beautiful football, really did for a good few seasons. So I wouldn't be upset if it was Eddie, say Arteta went and Eddie Howe was put in. I wouldn't be really upset, because I know he plays nice football, but I know he hasn't won much. But you know, you have to get to the next level, don't you? So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully Arteta pulls it out of the bag and we'll win the Europa League and we'll beat you in the final.
Like if we make it to the final, we've such semi-final syndrome. Like I need us to break it. Like, or Chelsea, what do you think? Do you think if I don't think so, because I think a new contract is inevitable at this stage. But do you think his job is in trouble if he doesn't get past semi-final of the Europa League?
No, I don't think so. Obviously they were talking about, obviously it's not been confirmed yet, but they were even saying a few months ago that he was signing a new contract, and that was before even in the semis, before in the quarterfinals. So no, I don't think so. And I agree with you. I don't think it should be yet. I know that people are impatient, and I know, you know, the Ollie out brigade that, you know, if we've not won a trophy, needs to get out. But you know, you can see it. You can see the progress, and we're getting there. Don't get me wrong. I'll be 100% disappointed if we do battle the semi-final, because, you know, I want to get to a final. Do you know what I mean? But no, I don't think he should go if we lose, and I also don't want him to go either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to go either, but like some of these United fans are calling in for, like, I mean, this is going to be Jose Mourinho 2.0 if we were to sign him. So
exactly.
I don't want to be watching that again. Like that was awful, but I don't know. Chelsea, obviously, news broke today that Eric Bailly signed a new contract. Now, I absolutely love Eric Bailly, like on and off the pitch, like so good. But the man was injured every second day, so I wouldn't have offered him a new contract. I personally think it was the easiest option to take, so they don't have to cash out for a centre back in the summer. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Bailly. I think he's great. He's, you know, he's funny. Everyone loves him. And like as a defender, he's a brilliant centre back. Like when he can stay fit, he's one of our best, if not our best. But like I said, it's a 4-year contract to someone who's played, like, you know, when we were talking a few weeks ago, when he made his 100 appearance or something. But like, obviously, you know how long he's been at the club. It's a bit like, I don't know. I'm just hoping that they've not done this and then think, oh, that's fine, we've extended Bailly's contract, we don't need to sign a centre back in summer, because Bailly there or not, we still need to sign a centre back. But yeah, it's hard. I like him, but I mean, if he can stay fit, then 100% that'd be great. But I can't see it happening. Really.
I don't know, because was there rumours recently that Bailly didn't actually want to stay because he wasn't getting game time?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to get game time now either.
No, exactly.
Like, I would love for him to get game time, because I think he's a brilliant centre back. Like, but he's, as Rach says, he's like Weetabix. He just can't stay fit. Like, when he did get fit, when he was fit, then he was actually fit for 3 or 4 games in a row. Next thing, he was in a car crash. Next thing, he had COVID.
Exactly. He's so unlucky.
So unlucky, like, but
Sure.
I don't know. I just think it was an easy way out for them, to be honest, so they didn't have to cash out in the summer for a new centre back. Victoria's Secrets maybe only got a new deal to get a bigger fee for him, quite possibly, to be honest. But if you were to get a big fee for him, I think, or a bigger fee there, he would actually have to play.
Mm-hmm.
He'd actually have to be on the shop window, like.
So well, yeah, you're not going to pay big money for somebody to sit on the bench every single game.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but I mean, I love Eric Bailly. If he can stay fit, he can stay fit. But I personally don't see him getting in ahead of Lindelof at the moment, and he's certainly not getting in ahead of Maguire either. So yeah, I just think it was an easy plan for them, I think. So they just wouldn't have to spend any money. So
Yeah,
maybe there's other areas on the pitch that they want to spend the money on. Defensive midfielder would be great. Right winger. Which actually moves on to the next point is Edison Cavani is supposedly leaving for Boca Juniors at the end of the season. Would you have Greenwood as number 9, or would you sign another striker?
I think this is quite hard because at the minute with the current system, like we're having Cavani and Greenwood is good because you've got the experience, like record goal scorer, blah blah. You've got him, but then you've also got Greenwood, who's inexperienced, but he's he's only 19. He's going to learn. He's going to get better. But the issue with obviously Cavani leaving now is that, like, I love Greenwood. He's literally my favorite player. But I just think, and like I said, I think his right position is that number 9 position. But I don't think he's 100% ready to lead the line yet every single week. And I feel like having him up front as our striker every single game, don't get me wrong, he'll improve. The more he plays it, the more, he'll improve. But I don't know if we can rely on it next season. So I'd like to sign maybe not like an older striker like Cavani, but like someone a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. You can sort of interchange them because obviously, you know how we were all feeling about Martial. Like he's been useless the last. I know he's injured now, but like before he was injured, he was useless. And Rashford's better on the left wing, so I think if Cavani does leave, which is going to happen, we need to sign a slightly older Greenwood, slightly more experienced striker, just to sort of, because I just think that's a lot of pressure for a 19-year-old as well to be our main striker when that's not even the position that he's been kind of, been playing the most. Yeah, I'd like to see him get to that point, but I don't think he's there just yet, and I don't think he's ready for it just yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, to be honest. I think we should maybe, not necessarily an older person, but maybe a more experienced striker. Because I feel like even though you can play Greenwood both up front and on the right wing, we also have Anthony Martial there, who is not the most reliable person in the world. So I think probably a striker would have to be on the cards for the summer. It's actually a tough one because obviously you want to see Mason Greenwood do well, but obviously I think another couple of years he will be the most reliable to be there. But at this moment in time, no. I mean, he has come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of months. I feel like he's definitely found his confidence again, and he's raring for road. Like he seems to be really hungry and he wants to keep going, but he's still only 19 years of age. There's so much pressure for him as well. So, yeah.
Can I ask you two a question? Because it has been touted loads around everywhere. Harry Kane to United?
I mean,
Spurs are going to ask for mad money for him, to be honest with you. I don't know if I want to spend mad money on him, because we could splash that cash on Jadon Sancho and get 5 or 6 years out of him.
Yeah.
While with Kane, I know Keane really wants Harry Kane, but I don't know if I want to spend that money on him.
Yeah, I agree.
But to be fair, like Harry Kane, I feel like he's wasting his career away at Spurs completely. So I think he does. There you go. So I think he does need to move away from Spurs. I don't know if I want him at United. How would you feel about that, Chelsea?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like having Kane at United. I wouldn't say no because like he's England's best striker. Like he's always banging in goals. Even when he's missing a few games because he's injured, he's still getting the goals. But again, like the money, like how much would Spurs want for him? Like I'm not being funny. We couldn't even pay him out on Sancho last year, so I can't see him splashing out more on Kane. Like as much as that, it'd be good to have his kind of goal threat up front. And I'd take it if money was unlimited. Then right, fuck it, we'll have him. But I don't think we will, and I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, like Spurs are going to be asking for mad money for him, like
so much money,
90 million to 100 million. Like it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest because any club that sees United come knocking, price goes up straight away. So I'm going to ask Keane a question here, right? If he had the choice, Harry Kane or Jadon Sancho, which one are you going for? Be completely honest here. Like I'd go for Jadon Sancho. We get years out of him. Like no. No. That's just an insult to Mada. Like he's just. I understand people don't want him at the club anymore because he's kind of gone past that stage now, right? Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't necessarily keep him as a player. Like if he retired, fair enough. But I'd actually have him in the coaching staff underage.
Same.
Because I think he'd be very beneficial to the coaching staff there as well, especially for the youngsters coming up. Harry Kane will cost our whole summer budget. Other positions upgrades are more important. Very true. Kane or Haaland?
You certainly wouldn't afford Haaland.
No.
Certainly would. Reported he's looking for $1 million a week.
Jesus.
No. We'll end up like Barcelona with the whole Messi situation. Like Messi's on scandalous wages. Like, surety rate. Yeah, I mean, still so young, but did he score 2 goals at the weekend? Did I see somewhere?
Yeah,
I didn't actually watch the match.
Yeah, he did. He played really well.
Yeah, which is great to see, obviously. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, United are all about promoting the youngsters, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of him come again. So we'll go on to our score prediction. So for Thursday, what do you think the score will be against Villarreal?
We're gonna win. I'm hoping for a 2-0, but I could see a 2-1. But we need away goals, and 2 away goals is what we need. So there, 2-1, 2-0. I don't know. We're one of them two.
What do you think, Chelsea?
I don't reckon it's going to be, especially being at home, I don't reckon it's going to be a high scorer. I think we're both looking, obviously we're looking defensively quite good at the minute, and you've said Roma are quite defensive as well. I think we will win it, but I think it'll only be like a 1-0. I can't see it being a massive high scorer.
That's what I think as well,
I could potentially see a draw, but I think we're doing quite well with clean sheets at the minute, so touch wood, I reckon 1-0 maybe.
I was thinking 1-0 as well. I wouldn't mind a 1-0 if we can keep a clean sheet, because the last thing we want is them scoring away goals. So I think 1-0 as well, and I think Bruno is going to shut up all the haters and he's going to score an absolute brace. Wait and see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the most exciting game in the world, to be completely honest, but I'll take the 1-0. If it meant having that bit of an advantage going into the away game, because our away form is better. So if we can get a couple of away goals, we'd be sorted. But I just thinking about it now, I'm actually getting fairly nervous about it.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I talk about it.
Because I don't know what to expect. Because the way like we struggle against these teams that sit back, but we went out against, now I know Southampton had a load of injuries, but we went out and we beat them. Hammered them, like, so it's a tough one, to be honest.
It is.
We'll come to some of the comments. So Rory think it'll be 2-1 Arsenal.
That's okay.
Andy thinks 3-1 United. Bruno Brace. Oh, sexy Bruno Brace. Yeah, that's right. John thinks it'll be 2-0 Bruno penalty and Greenwood to score. And Neil thinks both Arsenal and United will win 2-0. Victoria's Secrets thinks a 2-1 win with a Bruno penalty. I love this, lads. Keep it coming. Rory thinks 3-0 United. Bruno score 1, Greenwood score 2.
Take that.
I reckon it could be a case where Cavani is actually starting off and Greenwood on the right, so I think we could have quite strong players on the pitch, to be honest. Katie thinks it'll be 2-1 United, and Victoria Seekers thinks Arsenal will draw.
Disagree with you. We can't. Well, we can draw, but no, we'll win that 2-1, 2-0. I still can't decide.
Cian is actually going to go into my bad books in a minute.
That's nah.
It's actually going to be in my bad books. We'll leave it there. So, girls, what I'll do is I will go around, and if you want to shout out where everyone in the comments can, everyone watching, everyone in the comments can follow you. Do you want to shout it out there, Jen?
At Gooner_Jen on Twitter.
Chels?
My Twitter is at ChelUTD.
You can also follow me on Twitter on it's U18, and you can also find both me and Chels over in She Devils United as well. If you want to stay tuned, the London Lowdown is on at 8 o'clock just to talk about Chelsea in the Champions League this week. So if you want to stay tuned with that, and thanks a million to everyone in the comments and everyone watching, and I hope you all have a good week. Bye.
Bye.